Hey guys, so it's time for another cooking video, and today we're going to make a semi-healthy Chinese dish, and it's super simple and anyone can make it. And what we're making today is scrambled eggs with tomatoes. And so it doesn't matter how much of the ingredients you have, it just depends on how much you want to eat and how much you like. And so, but anyway, for now, here we have 5 tomatoes, 6 eggs, 1 clove of garlic, 4 stalks of green onions, and some minced ginger. And there we have it. There's some minced garlic too. And then, of course, we have soy sauce, salt, pepper, and sugar to taste. All that depends on how salty you like your dishes. And so typically this would be paired with steamed rice, but if you don't have that, then you could have that with like bland noodles or something too. And so I guess we could start. So first we're going to scramble our eggs, and here we have some olive oil. So you want to wait for it to get hot first. And how much oil you want to add, I mean, totally depends on you. If you want it to be healthier, then of course, you know, add less. If you want it to taste better, though, of course you have to add a little more. So in this case, it looks like we've added a lot, but I mean, not really, because I mean, 6 eggs plus 5 tomatoes, so that's at least like what, 4 meals, I guess. And plus, if you add more oil now, that just means you add less later. So right now we're cooking some of the garlic first, and how done that is depends totally on you. Some people like more of a raw flavor, in which case you would let it cook for less time. So what we've done here is, for the scrambled eggs, we've added the top portion, like the white portion, into the eggs, and we've left the green portion for later. Of course, if you don't like it, you could leave it all together, or if you don't like it this style, you could always just add all the green onion at the end. And of course, the way you scramble your eggs is also totally up to you. If you like the kind where it's little tiny itty-bitty pieces, then you would have the heat on low and then keep stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring. But me personally, I prefer it like in large chunks so that you could actually, like, you know, taste it and chew it. In which case, you would have the heat a little higher, and but again, not too high, or else you'll overcook your eggs. So now, as you can see, our scrambled eggs are done, and we want to actually take them off the heat before we start cooking our tomatoes. That way we won't overcook the eggs, and they'll stay tender and fluffy. And so, now for the tomatoes. As before, we're going to add some oil first. but in this case we have some pre-made minced ginger, which already has a little bit of oil, so we're going to start with that first, and then we'll supplement additional oil as we need. So we've added the ginger, and now we're adding the garlic. So as you can see on the side, the edges of our garlic mixture are starting to brown a little, and so now we know that it's about time to add tomatoes. And now we're just going to sauté it, mix everything up, and we're going to let it cook for about, well, in total probably 20 to 15 minutes, but first we're going to add our condiments. And here we're adding about, well, the spoon right there is roughly a tablespoon, slightly more than a tablespoon. So let's see, 1 tablespoon of cooking wine. You could also substitute sherry as well. And there we have the pepper. And slightly over, well, I guess 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And then, of course, a little bit of salt to taste. And in this case, we also want to add a little bit of sugar to bring out the flavor of everything else. So that's maybe roughly a teaspoon? 1 teaspoon. And now we're going to let it cook for about 5 minutes with the lid on. And this is on high heat. So, see you guys in 5 minutes. Welcome back, guys. So, after 5 minutes, our tomatoes look like this. And basically, when they're to the point where they're no longer like stiff, once they're sort of limp, and you can see all the juices coming out, then you know they're roughly about done. And now at this point we'll add the eggs back into our tomato mixture. And at this point, everything is pretty much cooked, so you want to turn the heat to low so that you don't burn or overcook your ingredients. And as a last step, we'll add our green onions. And of course, we'll mix it up. And then at this point, to keep the green onions green, you don't want to leave it in, you don't want to let it cook for too much longer. So maybe another 30 seconds or so, then it'll be done. If you want a stronger green onion flavor at this point, you could just start to eat it. Alright, so our scrambled eggs and tomato is done. And so what we have here is, on the left, you have some standard steamed rice, and on the right we have blanched bok choy. And how to make that is pretty simple. You boil water, wait for it to boil, add the cleaned vegetables into the boiling water, make sure everything's submerged, and then put the lid back on the pot and wait for it to boil again, and then immediately take the vegetables out. That's it. And so the nice thing about this dish is that there's a lot of sauce, and so that goes pretty well with the rice and gives it a flavor so that you don't necessarily have to rely on too much fat or butter or anything. Alright, there you have it. A pretty healthy, semi-traditional Chinese meal. And it's vegetarian, so yeah, hope you guys try it out. It's a pretty simple recipe, and let me know if you like it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys.